What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over talking about the event in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. And now today is the last day to grind or open packs or do whatever you want for this particular event. Now, what does that exactly mean? Well, it says you've got 25 days to use your event cards, but I personally, and this is my personal opinion, would do it by the end of today, because it always says, in my opinion, that they're going to be available for longer than they actually are. And so that for me is what I would just figure it out today. Now for me, what do I think the best thing to do with this is? I think it's to get MT. And yes, I know you guys are probably like, what, Ty? You've already got Victor Wembanyama. What do you need MT for? But when I do scroll through the rest of these things, there's just nothing that really catches my eye here on things that I really, want to add to my squad. If you want to open the 10 box, that's obviously not the worst thing, but it takes 8 Galaxy Opal cards. In my opinion, that's just kind of a lot. And so for me, again, when I'm looking at things, there's just not anything that really catches my eye. And so how I approach this is I'm going to take the time to exchange these down to a diamond. Now, I know it takes a while. I know it's not going to be the quickest thing to do, but you're guaranteeing yourself MT by doing this. And so that's just kind of the approach that I personally would take if I were you guys in trying to maximize the event. Now, again, if you've got a couple of GOAT cards, again, it is going to take you a little while to do. And if you want to use them, again, use them. I'm not going to sit up here and criticize you for using them unless you buy your way to Kareem Abdul Jabbar and spend a ton of money on the game. That's not my job. My job's not to sit up here and critique or criticize you. But the one thing about it is MT is the most important thing that you guys can have on this game. And honestly, I expect the auction house to possibly see an increase similar to what happened last time when everybody does go through and exchange these cards and get the MT from them. Again, that's what we kind of saw last time with the auction house and what happened to it. And again, I'd be willing to bet it happens again. But the one thing about it is, it's crazy to me that people actually are willing to take the time to do this. And you guys are probably like, really, Ty? Like, this is the obvious thing to do. But it does take a while to do. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to have to deal with. People don't want to have to deal with the inconvenience of downgrading all of these things, because it does take that little bit of extra time. But like I've said to you guys, I think it's definitely worth it, right? Like, when you're trying to put your squad in the best position possible for the long game, this is by far and away the best thing to do. So it is something that I'm going to take the time to do. But the most important thing here is this. Do not just let these event cards sit in your collection. That's the most important thing to do, to use them. Because if you sit there and let these things just sit in your collection, and look at how many GOATs I have. I mean, it's going to take me a while to get through these things and sell them. But if you do just let these things sit in your collection, you're losing out on so much MT. I'm just being honest. Like, if you don't do anything with these cards, you're losing out on a ton of MT. And with the auction house being somewhat attainable right now, it doesn't take that much to get some of the best cards in the game. And for me, like, getting a power forward Shaq would be ideal. Getting a Yao Ming would be ideal. Maybe even an invincible Giannis today would be elite. These are the things that are on my mind of cards that I may want to pick up. But at the end of the day, every bit of MT, and I know I've got Wemby sitting in my collection, and I'll just redeem him for the sake of this video. So I know right now I'm sitting on 17 million MT, which is gonna seem crazy. But that doesn't stop me from knowing that MT is super important and taking advantage of the rest of this event. Because I think if I do end up downgrading these things and using both of my GO cards, I'm going to be at over 18 million MT by just maximizing how this event goes. And so those are the things for you that I would try to take advantage of. And like I said, if you want to go and try to get a guy, let's say like Gerald Wallace, DeAndre Ayton, somebody like that, Tyrese Thomas is even good. Do what you have to do. I'm just saying, for my value, for my squad, I feel like it'd have to be Kareem or Bob Petit that I would pick up. And the sad truth is, I'm not close to getting either one of those cards. And yes, it's sad, but that's just the truth in the position and where I'm at right now. So it is what it is. I'll take the extra MT that I can get. And again, I'm going to eventually build my squad for the, here in the next little bit. I absolutely am. It just came down to the fact that I had to sell Wemby when he's going for 15 million MT. I just don't really have a choice when it comes down to it. But this is the one thing about it is any chance you have to maximize, you know, your MT count or your team, if that's picking up Tyrus Thomas, you've got to take the chance to do it. In the past events, and this is one other thing I want to hit on, past events, guys, I have missed out on, you know, using up all of my event cards. It's something that still to this day bugs me. The fact that I didn't go through and maximize my MT from all of those events. And then so that's something that I definitely would make sure to do if I were you guys, is that you do go through and use all of your event cards. Because yeah, I know it takes time to do, but would you rather do it or let these things sit in your collection, not use them, and basically waste your cards? Like, that's what you're doing. If you do not go through and use these things, you are wasting your cards. I like the idea of waiting until the last minute to really do anything with them. I like that idea, but at the end of the day, you still do have to go through and eventually use them. You have to. And it is what it is, but that's just kind of the way that I do it, see it here. So, again, that's just kind of my approach that I'm taking with this. And hopefully, you know, it's going to pay off for me in the long run, right? Hopefully, all of this MT can be used to pick up, you know, like I said, like the Shaqs, like the Yaos of the world. It's just taking the time to go through and do it, right? It's not going to be the quickest thing. You are going to have to slot some time in your schedule to go and do this, which is kind of annoying, kind of frustrating. But again, it is going to be worth it in the long run. And that's the point I keep hitting on, because I get it, guys. It's not necessarily the most fun thing to do, but it is easy MT at the end of the day. Right now on this game, MT is not that easy to get, to obtain, especially if you're not opening packs at a really, you know, high level, right? If you're not opening a bunch of packs, it's not always the easiest thing to do. But with that being said, that's why you got to take advantage of things like this. Honestly, the MT method and why it's not quote unquote patched. They have made it worse, but why it's not patched is this. 2K knows a lot of the people that play this game aren't going to want to go take the time to do this, right? They know people would rather lock in for Kareem, lock in for Bob Petit, and not take the time to do this. This is why they haven't made the, you know, an easier way to downgrade your cards, because 2K knows exactly what they are doing. They know the majority of people that do play this game are not going to want to have to do this and downgrade all of them. And if that's you, that's fine. Find what you do want to get. Like I've said for myself, I opened the first 10 box, I believe. I opened the legend packs. I think the legend badges are super worth it on this game. It's something that I put on my Wemby and helped him sell for more. So there are some things that I would recommend it if you are no money spent, balling on a budget. And let's say you're running a guy like Alexis Agenza. Maybe the Hall of Fame badges are worth it for you guys as well. But it all just comes down to finding what's worth it for you specifically, right? And it's not a one-size-fits-all situation, but you've got to kind of find that area of what is ultimately going to work for you guys. So again, that is another thing that you guys can kind of think about. What works for you, what doesn't work for you, those types of things. But again, that's just something in the back of your mind that you have to think about. Because if you don't want to take the time to downgrade all of your event cards, that's fine. But again, you are going to lose out on some MT, and you just better have something good to use these event cards on. That's all I ask. If you don't want to take the time to get that extra MT, I get it. It's annoying, it's frustrating to do, but just find something else that is ultimately worth it. So for me, again, MT, that's the king right now. If I can get any extra MT, that's what I'm going to try to do, especially because I am going to try to build my squad from good to great here in the next little bit. Might sell my Galaxy Opal Wemby, pick up a guy like Yao Ming, maybe Invincible Giannis, and really try to build my squad up. But it is truly crazy what Victor Wembanyama is selling for on a consistent basis right now on this game. So for me, that's going to wrap it up. Make sure you use your event cards today. Finish any grind you got to get done, whether that's the Summer Festival, right? I'm fine with what I've got done. I got 3 out of the 6 done. I'm fine with that. If you haven't done the Splash Zone Exchange, I would do that today. Catch up on your downtown challenges. They're super easy to do. As far as the Showdown Streak, guys, I can't even make a comment like it's worth doing. It's horrible. It's not worth doing. We didn't even see weekly challenges yesterday. I don't know what to even tell you. If you want to catch up on the Spotlight Sims, you can do that as well. But right now, try to find a way to get to the point where you're content with where you're at on this event, right? If you're happy with it and you've already used your cards, that's fine. but I'm not in that boat, so I can't really say that, right? I've got still a long ways to go as far as downgrading these cards. I am hoping by the end of this, when I do finish up downgrading, I am right about that 18 million MT, which would be absolutely crazy. That would be the highest amount of MT I have ever had on this game. I mean, 17 million is the highest MT count that I've ever had on this game. And again, if I get to 19 million, I don't even know what I'm going to ultimately do or say. But for me, that is going to wrap it up. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. Have you guys used all of your event cards? And if you have, what did you guys use them on? Let me know down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.